Hello and welcome back to Zara Energy. We are going to be discussing Saturn in Pisces. Saturn will be going direct in Pisces 27th, 28th of November 2025, depending on your location, where it will remain until the 13th of February 2025. So by the 14th of February, we are done with the cycle of Saturn in Pisces, which started in March of 2023. Okay, so we are completing a major cycle. And how this is going to work, we're going to talk about Saturn in Pisces, its influence, the retrograde and its challenges, and then we're going to go into all 12 signs to see how it influenced you. Do check your sun, moon, and rising, and don't forget to comment down below. Let me know your placements and I will respond to you in the comments because your birth chart is unique to you. Yes, it is your unique blueprint. Saturn in Pisces at its core. Now, Saturn entered into Pisces in March of 2023, where it remained until 2025. May of 2025, Saturn entered into Aries. Then it retrograded, and by September 1st, Saturn retrograded back into Pisces. And this was our final retrograde of Saturn in Pisces. Come the 27th, 28th of November, Saturn will go direct in Pisces, where it will remain until February of 2026. The 13th of February, Saturn will finish up its time in Pisces. By the 14th, we are done with Saturn in Pisces. We won't experience Saturn in Pisces until 2052. April of 2052, Saturn will re-enter into Pisces. So if you think about it, this is like the last hurrah. It is finally coming to its close, and it can feel challenging, okay? Especially the days leading up to Saturn going direct, stationing direct. You can feel like things are slowing down. Time is slowing down. It almost feels like, and you could be exhausted, especially. Saturn is a planet of hard work, discipline, structure, getting things done. It does not know what to do in Pisces. Pisces is emotions, water, unseen, spirituality. Okay, it is everything of our inner feelings. Now, Saturn coming here to structure our feelings and dreams is a challenge. Capricorn is ruled by Saturn. And here Saturn does well, thrives, because at the end of the day, it's all about structure, discipline, getting things done, right? It can really push forward. And with Saturn also ruled by Aquarius, right, there is a sense of social community structures. All the community structures that you see is Saturn. So think of the company you work at, Saturn, right? It's a collective group of people. The NGO, a collective group of people. The moment we are a group of people, that is Aquarius energy, and Saturn comes in with the structures of society. So you can see how relevant this is. It is potent. It is powerful. Now with Saturn in Pisces, we become emotionally overwhelmed. We become drained. We feel exhausted. We feel tired. We're trying to structure our emotions, our dreams. Saturn shows you the dreams that are false and what is true. Saturn comes in and restructures everything. We can feel lost. We can feel insecure. We can feel like our health is failing us. We can feel like we lack boundaries. We question our boundaries. This is where we were asked to learn. Okay, so having dreams that meant something to us, whether it's a dream about a wedding, a marriage, a house, family, career, the dream you have for yourself becoming a reality, that is an illusion and it falls away. Saturn restricts things, so we would have been restricted emotionally. It can be very emotionally tiring and draining, especially with Saturn in Pisces. A planet of structure saturated by emotion is heavy. It's heavy. It also feels like it's a challenge to get sleep and rest, and health is also something very important. Pisces rules over hospitals, institutions, our lymphatic system, our feet. So we could feel the physical structures of our body feeling like it's giving in. Okay? And this was all to show us where we need to restructure and prioritize our sense of self, our health and well-being, our emotional well-being, and the dreams that we can truly pursue that can become a reality through perseverance, hard work, and discipline. This is not about the fantasy or the illusion. Saturn would have came in and shattered that with reality to show you it's fake. That relationship, it's fake. It's not real. It's not something solid or structured. It only wants the dreams we can hold stability for, the emotional connections that are stable, that are structured and committed. Saturn rules over commitment and the responsibility we emotionally take in a relationship. Me and you. If I can't take emotional responsibility for myself, then I don't know. If you can't, I don't know. Because I can't take emotional responsibility for you. I can try, but all it's going to do is deplete my life, and I'm just going to be running around trying to take care of you. This is where it shows you the whole nurturing and giving yourself away to the point of emotional depletion, because I'm just going to give my heart to you. You have no emotional responsibility, meaning that you're reckless. You're out here impulsive with your feelings. You're catching feelings here, you're catching feelings there. You're impulsive with your anger. No emotional responsibility. All that's going to do is create chaos. And Saturn can create that chaos to show you that this is not something that you want. Yes, it would also restrict out the dream job that you thought was the job that was amazing. It would show you the toxicity within the environment and how it was killing you. Just so you can find a sense to walk away from the very things that were the dreams you had that you thought was like beautiful. Remember, Pisces is where we can sometimes have rose-tinted glasses and imagine the best. Right? We're just seeing the best. We're seeing the magic around us. And Saturn is like, what magic? Get a grip. This is life. Okay? Seriously, that is Saturn where it comes in. This is not magic. This is toxicity. This is a relationship that's deceiving you. This is the job that is abusing you, asking you to put in, we're not giving anything back. This is where you feel emotional patterns resurfacing for healing, past pain and trauma, your family lineage, the things that have happened within your family. You'd be very aware where you are also having those patterns, whether it's within relationships, whether it's with your money, whether it is where do you lack the responsibility. It would show you these things. And that's why Saturn in Pisces is hard. It is challenging emotionally, because that is what's being challenged, our emotions and the dreams that we have within our lives, our ability to feel emotionally connected. Yes, and creative blocks. If you were a creative person, you would have come across challenges. You'd have felt at times you don't have the creativity to give right now. You don't have the empathy or the emotional connection. If you were in someone that was in a place of being a counselor, a therapist, a healer, a doctor, a nurse, because Pisces rules over those things, you would have found yourself depleted. Because Saturn is like, you need to restructure your schedule. You need to restructure your emotional well-being. Where is the time for you? Saturn's like, if you don't put in no time for you, don't cry to me when your health is failing you, when you are emotionally ill, physically ill, and spiritually ill. Saturn is a teacher that teaches us the hard lessons. Saturn is a teacher that teaches us about grief. Yes, Saturn is related to grief. Hardship, challenges. You think there's no pain in that? Because Pisces is emotions. And if we're here restructuring our emotions, we got to feel a bit of pain. So yes, grief, loss. It is not something unheard of, because Saturn restricts out the very things within our lives. And yeah, we were being restricted on a collective level when it came to our emotions. And we are finally completing this, because it sounds like now you've restructured your emotions, you've made time for yourself, you've made time for rest, you're taking care of you. Now we can move forward, because you got the restructuring you needed to your emotional capacity of what you can give and cannot give to the various situations in your life. Saturn retrograde in Pisces, September 1st until November 27, 28. What were we dealing with? Now, retrogrades are delays. Saturn is the delays of things taking slow. Okay, Saturn's already a slow moving planet. The retrograde now slows things down to a halt. And it's time for you to reflect within yourself. Hello. What is real here? Because this would have given you a complete restriction and cutting back. That is what it would have done. Old heartbreaks returning. old emotional connections, old patterns, old addictions, a spiritual crisis, a loss of faith, right? People from the past coming back. It is a retrograde. It is an emotional retrograde given that's in Pisces, and people that you haven't seen in years. Feelings, yes, coming back. You know, Saturn is considered to be a planet that depresses us. It makes us feel heavy, like the world looks gloomy, darkness, cold, alone. And Pisces is that energy of being alone, okay? It is the energy of spirituality, retreat, isolation. So, this could have been pretty heavy and depressing. I wouldn't say that this was an energy that was easy. It was something that could have felt like a heavy weighted blanket, you know, just on you, but you're trying to get up, but you can't, and you want to leave your bed, but you can't. Depression can be something that is real. And if so, do seek support. Okay? Pisces is the ending. A lot of people would have also contemplated, you know, what do they need to end? Life would have felt hopeless. This is heavy stuff. Loss of motivation and direction, confusion about purpose, feeling lost, tired, feeling like you keep getting a no and you just want a yes. And no matter how hard you're pushing, the world seems to be pushing harder against you. Yes, Saturn is a test that tests your emotions, and the retrograde is pushing back. It wants you to reflect within emotionally. Doubting your path, doubting your choices. Remember, Pisces is what we can't see. So the path seems hazy and foggy and you don't know the direction, because Pisces is faith and Saturn is the test. So this is a test of faith. Okay? Feeling like nothing is moving forward. Yes, feeling like nothing is going the way you want to go. You want to go forward, but it keeps pulling you back, and you're reminiscing about the past, and you keep re-encountering the same trigger emotionally with the same person. You're asking yourself, what am I doing here? This is the retrograde. Lessons about boundary and intensity. Okay? So this would have been overgiving, letting people drain you, being too compassionate, giving your heart and soul away, guilt when cutting ties. One minute you're cutting ties, and then Saturn goes retrograde in Pisces, and then next you're re-encountered with memories of a situation and you want to reconnect. And I don't just mean exes. It could mean a friend, a family member, someone that you knew that was unhealthy, because Pisces is where we deal with emotional toxicity. It's where we emotionally are dealing with a toxic, manipulative situation and we're just giving in. Forced accountability in spirituality. Are you escaping through your spirituality? Right? Are we using faith like, let's just believe? But what steps are we taking? Saturn wants a step. Okay, we believe, yes. What is the step that we believe in that we need to take to where we want to go? Okay. You're ignoring your intuition, being too reality focused, but not listening to your gut. It's like, you know when you connect to this person that's going to create a whirlwind of crazy, but you still do it. Okay, that's gut, that's experience, that's past experiences. Are you relying too much on fantasy and not seeing reality? Are you too real without seeing the fantasy? See, Saturn Pisces wants both. You still got to have faith. It's not saying lose your faith. It is a test of faith, right? And faith in what? The unseen. It's Pisces. Pisces is the end where we transcend to another life. So it's the, trusting. Delays in creative or emotional projects. Anything that you wanted to do creatively, a project, would have been like pulling teeth. It's like you would set a date to do it, but something would happen and now the process is slowed down. Right? Artwork, healing work. There would have been challenges with your healing process, delays, and having to go back, having to reassess your health, having to reassess your big dreams, having to reassess your emotional breakthroughs. This was a potent and powerful time, okay? Emotional sensitivity is heightened, more drained, more empathetic, and you would notice you have more chemical intolerances. We're talking gluten here. We're talking preservatives, colors within foods, dyes, the things that bloat us. See, Saturn, Pisces rules over our lymphatic system. And sounds like you need to become disciplined with what you put in your body because it's going to bloat you. It's going to affect your immunity. Your lymphatic system is the cells that purify your body. And that's deep. So we'd be very aware with our emotional state. A lot of us would have to seek therapy, seek counseling, seek some sort of healing, seek an astrologer, understanding yourself, spirituality, seeking someone in mediumship, seeking someone that's going to take you to the other side, right? This was the energy. It's not punishment, it's refinement. That's all Saturn does. It's not a punishment. It's not a death sentence. It is refinement. Is it hard? I'm not going to sit here and say it's easy. It's an emotional test. Your heart is breaking, and I'm not going to sit here and say that's an easy test. It's a test of like, yes, your heart is breaking. Heal. Heal. Saturn is like, take responsibility for your healing, whether it's physical, emotional, and spiritual. You got to do the work. You got to do that for you because no one else is. Saturn is a responsibility we take for ourselves. What are we taking responsibility for? Our emotional well-being, our physical well-being, our spiritual well-being, our creative well-being, the dreams that we have, whether it's work, love, creativity. Saturn and Pisces, travel would have became a very hard thing. You'd have to keep on trying, right? You have to show patience. But Saturn is a planet that rewards. And I don't want you to lose hope of that because when Saturn exits, it will reward you for this discipline. It didn't test you for nothing. It's here to teach you something. And when you learn that lesson of emotional accountability and taking responsibility, because Saturn is that responsible energy, you will see the rewards come through. Aries, you were hit with Saturn and Pisces. Saturn was influencing Pisces, which is behind you, right? So this was your subconscious endings, healing, isolation, heartbreak, emotionally having to see who the hidden enemies are, seeing where you self-sabotage yourself. Yes, this would have felt heavy. Some of you would have needed to seek some wisdom through therapy or counselor, or feeling like you need some alternative form of healing. Whether that's astrology, because it was tapping into this parts of you. Some of you would have even taken the spiritual journey. But it first came with an emotional crisis of grief, loss, pain, self-sabotage. Where do you sabotage yourself? This is the area of addictions. And I don't just mean drugs and alcohol, although that also rules over this energy. But feeling like the things you do to escape. Procrastinate, scroll through your phone, social media, television watching, hanging with the people, your friend group that is toxic and you know it, but you're there again, right? This is you doing the things. You're doing the things. That's a self-sabotage. Oh, yes, I'm going to give them another chance. Oh, yes, I'm going to try again. Let's see what happens. That is Saturn showing you emotional accountability for where you need to put boundaries, especially because it was the area of hidden enemies. Having to have truths being revealed to you since 2023, like, oh my goodness, this revelation, you betrayed me. I got to walk away. Saturn also influenced the area of beliefs, education, travel, publishing, teaching. So if you were teaching, trying to teach a course, your beliefs, long distance travel, there would have been delays, challenges. You would have felt almost like your optimism is waning during this time. Okay, that's what you would have felt. And that's the challenge of you were studying or teaching. This would have felt like a challenge to get out that course, a challenge to get through your studies. It's taking longer than ever. You have to show so much of patience, okay? But Saturn was teaching you the rewards of patience, of having to know emotionally what it feels like when you lose and don't know your direction, but you keep on trying and you find that test of faith. Your faith was tested in your emotional connections, your optimism, your beliefs, long distance travel, and higher education. Now going forward, come 2026, February 14th, you will be rewarded. Around this time, you will reap the rewards for deep spiritual healing. You will let go of things that you thought you couldn't let go of. You would become emotionally strong. You would have tapped into your intuition, trusted your gut. Your spiritual journey would have uplifted you. Your optimism comes through where you can see the faith and opportunities for that travel that you wanted, that job overseas, higher education you finally completed. You see the rewards coming to you in 2026. You see the benefits of the labor of love you've been putting into the areas of your life. You know now to trust your intuition. You get the gift of intuition. If you're teaching, this is where you're teaching. The energy you put into the courses and what you're trying to share, you reap the rewards. You see yourself getting the rewards for the hard work you've been putting in. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you down below. Taurus. Taurus, this was influencing for you, your future wishes and dreams, friendships, networks, and Saturn was testing your friends. You would look around you. You'd notice your friend group was not the same. Look at the company that you keep. Since 2023, the company, the connections, the company, as in even the company you work with, the company you keep, the people you choose via your association, your friends, your family, whoever. You chose those people in your life. This is your community, and Saturn would have been working its way, changing your community. You're still going to go through that. You're going to see the reality about the company you keep, the people you collaborate with, the networks that you have in terms of work, the company that you work with. So if you are an entrepreneur, you know, where are you working? That place you associate with your work and where you're doing your business, that's your collaboration, right? Because if you are paying rent or whatever the case may be, that's what you're doing. If it is the company that you work at, you'd be very aware of this company. And is it something that you can see that's going to take you for the next 30 years? 2052. This is where you're restricting, you gain the reality, you are restructuring how you move forward. You would become very disciplined with, with what you're doing. Online for you could have showed growth if you persevered, like learning online skills, learning tech skills, websites, all of those things. Blocks from support from others. It's almost as if you want the support from others, but you just feel like it's not coming through. Issues around partners and finances. Let me explain this. So other people's money, challenges there, roadblocks, delays, financial losses, debts, loans, taxes, inheritances, challenges with taxes. Please keep in mind, it is festive almost, so the neighbors are around and families are around. So keep that in mind as I'm giving you this video. But anywho, I'm sorry about that, but let's get into it. Needing to deal with emotional vulnerability. What are your past pains? What are your traumas? What are all of those things? It all would have come through for you. What is holding you back from emotional closeness? What is holding you back from financial success? This was hitting your finances. Shared resources, other people's money, where people pay you money. So some of you would have even lost financial support or support in general from others. The rewards. So come 2026, you will be rewarded. When Saturn exits Pisces in February, will not return until 2052. Solid, loyal friendships, solid, loyal connections, solid, loyal collaboration, solid, loyal company that you keep for the next 30 years, right? A major wish or a long-term goal fulfilled. You're going to get a wish that you want. You're going to get some fulfillment that you want, something that is a vision. You would have been seeing the visions that were fake since 2023, the ones that were just dreams that weren't real. It would have shut it down and told you, hey, this is the way forward. Financial stability returns for you. Other people's money, financial stability comes through. Strong emotional bonds, a new powerful network of people that can help you. Support returns. You'll find support now that is stronger bonds, stronger support, stronger gains. This is positive for you. So you will reap the rewards when Saturn exits in 2026 in terms of what you wish for, because this is wishes fulfillment and your wishes have been taking very long. And I know you've been going through it, but the opportunities are coming your way, and not just the opportunities, the support. When we feel supported, we can accomplish anything and everything. Yeah, there were delays within the support. Okay? Do comment your placements. Remember, your birth chart is unique to you. So when you comment your placements, I can give you more insights in the comments. Gemini. Gemini, for you, since 2023, you've been rocked, restricted when it came to your career, your goals, your ambitions. Some of you would have even, this is grief, some of you would have lost like an authority figure. Grief, like someone passing away, because this is like your reputation. So when it is your reputation, you could even lose someone that is tied to you, whether it's a parent, a spouse. Grief, right? Especially parents anyone that you are out in public with. So a spouse is someone that, hey, I'm married to this person. This was changing your reputation, even going to widow or going to someone who is grieving due to loss of parent. But this was also influencing your career. Career would have been a challenger, being retrenched, being let go of, finding it harder to find work, challenges with your ambitions, having to show discipline. There would have been small rewards, but you're still finding that you have to work for it. You got to put in the energy, you got to put in the effort, you got to, discipline and structure. Career stagnation, waiting for recognition, waiting for people to recognize your efforts. That would have taken forever. Challenging in relationship lessons too, especially. This will also influence your one-on-one partnerships, so challenges with contracts, deals, negotiations, deals coming in slower. And this would have also, once again, loss of spouse, loss of partners, loss of a friend, loss of someone opposite you. That was the challenge, because Sun is in Pisces, right? And Pisces is ruled by Jupiter. And Jupiter also sees over Sagittarius. So Sagittarius is also ruled by Jupiter. And this is opposite you, so your relationships. Pressure to redefine your public role, your leadership. This was the intense pressure of leadership. This would have been, you had to go it alone. There was a lot of responsibility on your shoulders, especially because it's influencing the peak of where people see you, the world sees you. So it's like the world's pressures on you, the pressure to be a good child, the pressure to be a good sister, the pressure to be a good parent, the pressure to be a good spouse, the pressure to take care of the home, the house, the family, the pressure of your work life. Everything would have been on you, towering over you. Okay, since 2023, the delays, the rethinking, the reality checks about relationships. And even if it's not lost via someone passing, although that can happen, this can also be the loss of that relationship. It's like, oh my goodness, we can't be together. A breakup, a divorce. It's a reality check for relationships. It's reality check for your reputation. So if that person was known with you, yes, and also because it influences your partnerships, it would have been intense, and you had to keep redefining what you want for your long-term goals. Like, what do I want? What do I want to achieve? Especially when, the ambitions were like being restricted. You had to redefine, and that's the lesson of Saturn. Dreams about career, dreams or illusions within relationships would have to be shattered. Now going forward, what is coming your way? Especially with Saturn going direct, you will reap the rewards for the discipline. Now remember, you have to be disciplined. You have to see the truth about things. That's what Saturn does. If you haven't, it will finish out that cycle still showing you these things. But you will get that career breakthrough. You'll get the promotion. You'll get the recognition. You'll build the success for the next 30 years. You'll gain clarity over a relationship that's deeply committed and solid, like rock solid, because this is Saturn. It wants it to be, tested. It will last, especially renewed confidence in your direction, and partnerships that are built up to uplift you and not drain you will be your way going forward. And also emotional healing through grief and loss that you've experienced over this time. Do come into your placements and I will respond to you. Cancer, this was a test when it came to travel, optimism, expansion, growth, worldview. This would have been exhausting and low energy, and this would also influence your health, work, and routine, right? You would notice your daily life was just slow and heavy, and more people needing you, more having to be of service, feeling like, where do I need to put boundaries on my time and energy and how much I can give to people. This would have made you feel like, one minute I have a routine and now the routine is just not there anymore and I have to restructure it. This would have would have had you like really checking your health, really checking the routine. How are you sleeping? How are you eating? How are you planning your day? What are you doing for work? Challenges with work, challenges with co-workers, open enemies since 2023 too would have arisen for you, and cruel and harsh treatment through open enemies. Like you would just be surprised or taken by surprise. And this would have been a challenge, right? A crisis in faith, a crisis in, just feeling drained, because this was like you working. Saturn, yes, I'm working hard. I gotta do this, I gotta do that, I gotta organize this, I gotta organize that. But it's so draining. Overworking and taking on too much would have been the situation. Now, going forward, a restored sense of faith. This is going to be opportunities to travel, especially if travel was delayed, higher education, teaching, publications, all roads they're open for you, as well as, renewed enthusiasm for life. And your work and health, you'll get opportunities there as well, like opportunities to work, opportunities for your work to improve. Even if you have a business and you don't have to work with co-workers, this is your work that you do. Why people going to purchase whatever service or product you're offering. And Saturn was asking you to work hard and be disciplined and structured. So you're going to see a shift within your job life, within your business as well, where you will reap the rewards for the adjustments. And yes, you were met with restrictions and you had to redefine things for opportunities to come in. But it's a total shift in your day-to-day routine, and you will reap the rewards in terms of health, wellness, well-being, your work life, and opportunities will flourish. This is also really great for your spiritual journey because it would have tested your faith and optimism the most, because it's about expansion and growth. So you would want to expand something in your life, but you feel like it's so stuck. Now you get the opportunity to do so. Even if you were struggling with visas and relocation, opportunities now can come through for you. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you down below in the comments. Leo, you've been going through it since 2023. The challenges when it came to shared resources, finances, business partnerships, taxes, loans, inheritances, loss. This is grief too, endings, deceptions, manipulations, power dynamics. Saturn came in and showed you the emotional heaviness, showed you the truth about your most intimate relationships, having to develop some boundaries, showing you your finances as well. You having to keep restructuring your financial matters, especially. This would have restricted other people's money and spouse. Your spouse could have also been going through some challenging times financially, and this would have been hard. You had to show faith, you had to show perseverance and hard work, and also your psychology. So trauma would have been brought up, especially past trauma, karmic trauma that you haven't dealt with, through you seeking some form of wisdom through someone, whether it's an astrologer, whether it's a counselor. Yes, because psychology and astrology lie in the same area of life. So you would have had to seek some sort of reading, understanding, gaining clarity on your future perspective. This would have challenged your dating life, challenges with children, in terms of structure, discipline with kids, or having to deal with like, even if you were trying to fall pregnant, this is challenging. Saturn here can be very challenging for pregnancy, children, and romance. Fun, pleasure. It would feel like life just feels heavier than normal. Like, I just don't feel joy. I'm trying to tap into my joy and becoming disciplined about taking time out for joy, because Saturn would have wanted you to do so. But in doing so, you're noticing like, gosh, some responsibility takes me away from the joy the pleasure I'm trying to enjoy. And like I said, challenges with children, they could have been something either restricting you from your kids or having to take a more disciplined approach or working more with your children. This was a lot of that, especially if you have kids. Romantic lessons and karmic love patterns coming up, financial pressures connected to others, just emotional heaviness. This would have been deeply emotionally heavy. So your reward is a creative rebirth, a rebirth of your joy that you will find come in 2026, where February of 2026, when Sun leaves Pisces. Financial relief, something comes in to stabilize your finances for you. Your spouse might get an opportunity that will last for years and years to come. There are opportunities of flourishing energy coming through. If you were dealing with anything with your children, maybe your child was depressed, maybe your child was going through a challenging time, maybe your child was dealing with something heavy. This is where you find the opportunity to build in the structure. There's also maybe dealing with challenges with children growing up, just the necessary stuff like that, because Saturn is maturity, ruling over children. That can be happening. Karmic and tough lessons, like maybe there is custody or some structured discipline that needs to come into the schedule of children. So all of those things here, you reap the rewards, you find the discipline, you find the structure when it comes to your kids. You have deeper intimacy with the right people. So if you met someone during this time, only if that person was rock solid, you could trust them with your life. This is where that intimacy can go to the next level. A joyful romantic cycle, a project or passion that you've had comes to fulfillment. So if you were trying to start a business, a side hustle during this time, it would have been met with a lot of restriction. You would have to find the faith within yourself, but you will be rewarded for the discipline that you showed. So opportunities are coming your way. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you in the comments. Remember, your birth chart is unique to you. Virgo. Saturn in Pisces opposite you was the challenge of a lifetime, okay? You won't have Saturn in Pisces again until 2052. So since 2023, you were dealing with Saturn in Pisces influencing your relationships. Challenges with relationships, clients, contracts, deals, spouse, other people. Since 2023, you were dealing with some challenging situations within your relationships. And with Saturn retrograde, karmic loves coming back, karmic patterns within love coming back, right? See, retrogrades will show us the past. Saturn is karmic cycles that we have within our relationships, relationship heaviness, so much responsibility, taking on more responsibility for your partner than ever. Especially, it doesn't only have to be a partner, it can be a friend, other people. This is other people. So anyone that you decided, I'm taking responsibility. This would have also created a lot of home life instability, delays with renovating, delays with getting a place, delays with buying a house, delays and challenges with your living situation, tensions, coldness, indifference within your home. It's almost like no matter what you do, it feels like your home life is not getting the warmth it needs. Sounds like restructure, find new ways to deal with your emotions. And this would have been even you seeking support, either that is therapy, counseling, astrology, tarot card reading. This is you trying to find your emotional stability, being faced with emotional triggers, resurfacing of old emotional triggers. Saturn does that. This would have tested your emotional bonds to people, challenges within your family. This is where you could have also seen kids growing up. See, family, like if you have kids, this is Saturn, responsibility, family responsibility. There was a lot on your shoulders. When we have family responsibility on us, it's like challenging. You had to decide within your life who stays and who belongs. Who in your family do you want to connect to? Who in your family do you need to put boundaries up with? Who in your family do you want to disconnect to? And including within your living situation, whether you had a roommate or a husband, a spouse, there would have been some sort of separation that needed to come through, or distance within the relationship, or you would have to restructure the relationship entirely. That is Saturn. Saturn's restructured this or cut it out. Okay, only relationships that had the strongest emotional bonds that gave you comfort and pure support, that were your safe space, would last. Even like I said, challenges and delays with contracts regarding to work and challenges at work, especially. Now, going forward, committed and healthy relationships now that you have, these will last for the next 30 years. If you got married during this time, and that was a commitment you're willing to keep. If that commitment is something that's solid, this will stay. A stable home life and environment, emotional security. You'd be able to either buy a home, get that home security that you want, find the rental home that you need that gives you security, emotional comfort. Since 2023, you were dealing with emotional heaviness within your home. Depression too. And this is like your home just feels like it's not suited to you and you need to make changes. You don't know what it is. You know, you keep trying to get rid of things. Yes, like getting rid of stuff is so sad in Pisces. Resolving family karma, as well as long-term relationship stability. So relationships you keep now will take you forward, whether it's a friend, a lover. You are going forward with this come February of 2026 of what you are taking, and you're seeing the rewards. You'll get that contract for that job. You'll get the opportunities. You'll meet the people that give you the stability in your life, whether it's a lover, a friend, someone that you can trust, right? Comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I will respond to you in the comments. Libra. Libra, for you since 2023, your health was tested. Okay, this was your health, your vitality. You just keep falling ill. Whether it's a flu that just won't go away, whether it is a diagnosis, this would have tested your physical well-being, spiritual well-being, self-care. Some of you would have had to take care of yourself, like emotionally. I just can't do this anymore, and would have to take care of through therapy or some form of emotional exercise to take care of yourself. Right? Feeling mentally foggy, feeling like you don't know what to do within your routine or your day, and it just seems so confusing, and you're just trying to get the structure in, but things just seem weirder and weirder. Okay, and you keep trying to form the structure, but like tensions are arising within your work, co-workers, and your health and routine. There would have been distance and strain when it came to siblings, communication as a whole. Maybe people taking longer to communicate with you, to connect to you when it came to contracts, when it comes to sales, especially if you're in sales, right? This is where things are taking longer. And also stagnant work routines. You would have felt quite stagnant. You would have felt delays with neighbors too, maybe tensions with neighbors. Finding like your neighborhood that you're in is, you want something different. You would have found yourself though with Saturn and Pisces in a very like heavy place within your neighborhood. Only, very, like almost as if your neighborhood where you are staying feels a bit challenging. And also with the short distance trips, that would have also been like you're trying to get away, but for your self-care, but when you come back, you still have the same responsibilities. The sixth house is riddled with responsibilities and acts of service and the work that we do in order for our day to be productive, from getting up in the morning and brushing your teeth to driving to work or whatever it is you need to do and getting into bed. That's your routine. And Saturn here would have restructured your routine. Mental clarity returns come February of 2026 and going forward, and you reap the rewards with a healthier outlook, success through communications for projects. If you're trying to write something, it comes out and it's successful. Improved relationships with siblings, and daily life just becomes a lot easier for you to navigate. This gives you the rewards for offers at work, offers through the services that you offer. It's now more people might want your services. You restructured things, you redefine things, mental clarity. And if you're teaching anything, this is where you gain the clarity and the momentum to do so. And what you put out is amazing. And what you write is so empowering. So if you're anything in content creation or anything to do with marketing, or where you have to write or put something out, great, you will reap the rewards for that type of work or sales. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you. Remember, your birth chart is unique to you. So commenting your placements gives me an opportunity to add more insights for you. Scorpio, since 2023, you were tested when it came to love, pleasure, creativity, children, and income, self-worth, and personal resources. So during this time, you would have went through a lot of delays. Either money is moving slowly, income is like slow, there is these challenges, creative blocks, as well as complicated or dry love life. So either your love life is completely dry or it's complicated. You got to work harder to put in the effort. Challenges with children, challenges with fertility, self-esteem tests. This is like where you feel confident, where you feel joyful, where you feel worthy, your sense of self-worth. This is where you would have been met with restrictions in income, almost like as if like the place you're working, the contract comes to an end, there's something within the work, or they cut you down to what they were originally supposed to give you. A lot of challenges with finances. See, Saturn is restriction. So the restriction would have come in through fertility, money, income in your bank account. It's like you have money, but then the money dwindles, right? There would have been all these challenges with your finances. Rewards after February of 2025, like when Saturn leaves Pisces, what will be the reward? A stronger financial foundation, creative confidence coming back, creative opportunities, a sense of happiness and joy. If there was a creative project you've been working on, this is where you reap the rewards. If you've been trying for fertility, this is where you get the rewards of fertility. If there was something you were doing with your children, a structured, disciplined plan, or something that was involving your children, this is where it comes into play. You see the opportunities, you see the healing coming through. Romance renewal, this is really great. The only romantic connections that you would be able to take would be romantic connections that stood the test of time. It was stable. It was, the relationship that can endure the hard times. A relationship that offered commitment. If not, it would have fell apart. A new source of income, a new source of money comes in. And feeling worthy, feeling like, I deserve better, and going after it, feeling confident within yourself. And this is really great for you. If you're an entrepreneur, you would have been challenged during this time, because entrepreneurs need creativity for ideas when it comes to work with their business. There would have been creative blocks, entrepreneurship blocks, And now going forward, you'll finally find the success. Saturn will give you that success. Saturn will give you those opportunities where you will get something renewed coming into your life and say, yes, finally it comes in. And you're just ever so happy. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you down below. And don't forget to like, share as well. But anyone who needs a message. Sagittarius, for you, this would have been extremely challenging in terms of your emotional well-being. Challenges within the home and family since 2023. Stress within the home and family. Burdens emotionally. Depressing as well. This was heavy weighted energy on you emotionally. Saturn Pisces can be quite depressing and heavy and exhausting. Saturn influencing your emotions, home, family, emotional roots, your heart. This can be really heavy, having to grieve, having to endure loss when it came to home, family members, or anyone you were emotionally connected to. This would have also been your independence, your appearance, and your personal direction would have been challenged, like how your physical body is doing, needing more time for home, to be at home. You would be like, I can't make it today. I'm just so exhausted. I physically can't leave. I'm burnt out. So this would have influenced your physical body, your appearance, and like just feeling drained and tired, older too. Saturn is a planet that matures you. So this would have been testing how you physically feel when you look at yourself, feeling weighed down, having to deal with increased family responsibility, either through like family hardships, like I said, like if there's loss within the family, you have to be there. If there is financial woes within the home, you need to be showing support. This is also like just feeling like I don't know, a sense of lost and directionless, like I don't know what's next and what can happen next. And you had to work very hard when it came to home and family matters and giving yourself the sense of structure. Rewards after February. This is where emotional stability and home stability, support from home comes through. Emotional strength floods in and renewed sense of identity. This is where you feel joyful and optimistic. You know, Saturn being in Pisces, and Pisces is ruled by Jupiter and you rule by Jupiter. This is why it tested your faith, your appearance, your optimism, your sense of direction, what you wanted. You had to show, you know, perseverance. And family healing. You could also now buy that home. If there were challenges with moving home, renting a home, finding the right living space, this is where you now get the opportunity to finally renovate. Renovations are complete. If there were delays with that, you can buy that home. You can finally move to the home of your dreams. This is where you can make things a reality. This is where you can build strong emotional foundations. Marriages, children responsibility. This is also the area of home and family. So now you can finally like put down the roots, build the stability you want, you know, especially if there's anyone emotionally that you're connected to that is a committed person. Saturn is commitment. It's loyalty, it's dedication, it's being able to put in the work. Any emotional connections that lacked truth and were draining would have fallen away. So this would have given you the emotional clarity you needed. Some of you would have also had to move out. Like if you were in a living situation with someone, you would feel the need, like, I need to move out. I need to distance myself from my spouse. I need to distance myself from my family. There was a lot of distance this was creating restriction within your family and your emotional ties, walls and barriers. But only those relationships that could endure challenges would last and move forward. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you and I will respond to you in the comments. Capricorn. Saturn in Pisces would have brought a lot of challenges to communication, siblings, mindset, writing, teaching, short distance trips, your environment. Your environment would have become very heavy. Relatives as well. This is losses within like, you know, information or documentation, challenges when it came to information, writing, or even contracts. If you were dealing with sales, there would have been challenges here. This is like, oh my goodness, and almost as if you had to hear the hard truth from people. Maybe you a few times also gave the hard truth to other people. Saturn here can make us very hard on ourselves, on others, and mentally you are fatigued. Emotional and communication blocks. This could have created anxiety, stress, tension, worry mentally, emotional overwhelm, and needing for more rest mentally. Like your mind would have just been thinking of all the challenges. It can be mentally depressing. Hidden fears surfacing mentally that was in your mind that needed to be, you know, reviewed and restructured. Very challenging time. This was a lot about endings, releasing to and subconscious blocks and patterns and needing rest. Now, and Saturn is your ruler, so it's vitally important for you to take note because Saturn's movements really influence you. Okay, clear thinking will come through. Successful writing, communication, teaching, short distance trips, spiritual breakthroughs as well. This is really great for closure on karmic cycles that you've been stuck in and better mental health. And this is where you can see things also smoothing over with relatives or family. There's a, all of a sudden things are now working better, especially if the relationships were ones that wanted to work on it. This is where you can see things really coming to a point of rewards. And now the relationship gets the healing, gets what it needs in order to, restructure and grow. If that relationship doesn't, then it's like you're done. There's also you being done with old karmic contracts that were just draining your energy, contracts to other people, situations. This is the closure of it, and you finding the contracts that suit you, whether it's a company that you're joining or anything that you're signing on. You're very aware of that. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you. Aquarius, Saturn is your ruler and it's going direct on 27th, 28th of November, depending on your location. Now with Saturn going direct and it's in Pisces, Saturn has been in Pisces since 2023. This will create a lot of challenges when it came to your income, your money, stability, self-worth and finances, money in your bank account, and what you value and what you don't value, and who values you. You'll be questioning a lot of these things. This was bringing in the intensity and you having to look at the reality of yourself, your sense of self, your value, your money, and building on stability. Financial instability and restrictions and slow income, self-worth challenges, losing of friends and groups because losses. This is also influencing like your networks, your friendships, the people that you communicate with. So this would have brought loss, grief, within these relationships, losing of friends, losing of groups, losing of maybe the company that you keep or the people you choose to associate with via choice of the various groups within your life. Delays with manifestation of goals and what you want, and trust issues within your community, the people you surround yourself, everyone you surround yourself, whether it's at work, at home, your family, your hobby group, there would have been trust issues. The rewards come of 2026 when February exits Pisces, 13th, 14th of February. Strong emotional foundations within you in terms of what you want and how you value yourself, as well as financial security. Financial opportunities can come through. You get the offer, you get the job. So if you're applying for jobs and you wanted a job during this time, it would have been a lot harder. You'd have to work harder. You'd only reap something or get the reward of something that Saturn's like this can last for years. This would have been, a more confident sense of self-worth, receiving support from allied people, like more support from your community, more trust within your community. A major long-term goal manifests as well. A goal comes to fruition, a powerful new network, and you find the support that you want within your environment. This is only, and you would have also restricted out a lot of people. Like you realize who you can't trust. You would develop boundaries with Saturn and Pisces and connecting to people who feel aligned to you, who feel like part of your community and that will stand with you for the next 30 years. This is a very transformative time in terms of having to restructure our lives and for you to have money and networks and the people you surround yourself with, and having to find the stability, the structure within your community and what you value within yourself and your sense of self-worth. Do comment your placements and I will respond to you in the comment. Pisces, Saturn and Pisces has been in your sign since 2023. This was influencing you, your body, your identity, your life direction, everything connected to you. Okay, this would have been challenge after challenge when it came to you. Everything you wanted took longer. Everything you had to move towards or wanted took so much longer. You had to show perseverance. You had to take care of your health. You had to take care of your money. You had to take care of your relationships. You had to take care of your home, your family. Every single thing was demanding more of you and more responsibility, and the weight was heavy and the pressure was intense, and you had to still show faith, perseverance, and come up and still work through it. This is pushing you and pushing you and pushing you. Saturn here was the challenge and the test, and you won't have Saturn in Pisces until 2052. So this is the last time in our lifetime. This is major. This is powerful. This is, you restructuring how you show up in the world. You would have restricted out relationships personally and professionally, shown boundaries, shown areas that are basically draining your life. You'd have been very aware of it, and you would be like, I'm done. I'm not going to do this anymore. You'd have to see through illusions. Saturn is a reality check, and what was this reality check? About you and everything that surrounds you, from your health to your work, to your job, to the relationship you have, to the children that you have, if you have children, to what gives you fun, pleasure. It's you. And you would have to really take note of your health and well-being. This would have tested your career as well, your reputation and purpose. Some of you would have had to walk away from certain relationships, right? Breakups, divorces, separations, being done, throwing in the towel. Saturn is cut out, restrict, redefine what it means to be you. This was a restructuring of you. And because of that, this influenced your reputation, and this influenced your goals, your ambitions, your career, the drive that you have, and what you wish to create within your life. This was a total identity crisis. And when we go through an identity crisis, we question every single thing that's a part of our lives. Pressure through responsibility, being asked to grow up. No matter your age, you can be close to 70. Saturn will test you to grow up and be responsible. Be responsible for the time you have left, because Saturn is the Lord of time. So that's why it's the plan of maturity. It takes 30 years for Saturn to come back to a sign, plus minus. Because of that, it tells you about age. Okay? So, and maturity and responsibility. And the responsibilities you want to restrict to out of your life, because time is limited. Feeling judged, feeling misunderstood, feeling like the world is coming down harder on you, feeling like no one understands you and you have to go it alone. Saturn in your sign, that's what it means. Delays with career movement and advancement, which would influence money, needing to redefine your entire life path and trajectory and what you want. Feeling a bit hopeless, feeling a bit like, oh my goodness, and you'd have to work so hard to accomplish the very best of what you wanted through perseverance. The good news is Saturn is exiting Pisces come February 13th. So by the 14th, Saturn is done, and you can find the rewards. A sense of solid, this is where you have a solid sense of yourself and what you want. This is where you've been working to a goal that has been based on reality. You will achieve it. A career breakthrough, deepening of relationships too, that hold the stability you require. Respect, recognition, a chapter of confidence, a lifestyle aligned to your soul purpose. Now that you've cut down, slimmed down, restricted everything, what is aligned to your soul purpose and mission and what you want to create? Who do you want to take with you on this journey? What is it that you want? This is what it will give to you based on what you've been working on, that has been based on pure reality. So Saturn will give it to you, but it needs to be based on reality, because Saturn is reality. And it's the steps and the hard work. It's the hard work you've been doing that will pay off. And the hard work you've been doing to take care of your health. Everything and like that. Do comment your placements. Your birth chart is unique to you, and I look forward to your comments, and I will respond to you in the comments.